Hi, Scorpio. This is your reading for April 2017 for love and relationships. Cutting the cards. First card is going to be a Queen of Cups, which is your element. Cups represent water. I have Strength. I have a King of Cups. Okay, so a King and Queen of Cups, both surrounding Strength. I have a Four of Cups, reverse. I have an Ace of Cups. This is amazing, Scorpio. All this water. I have the High Priestess reverse, and it actually showed up in another spread. This is Death reversed. Five of Wands. I have a Six of Pentacles. Interesting. All right, so outcome card will come after the main reading. This is, we don't have to worry about this relating to you or whether what's going on with you. A lot of emotional, it seems like there's been a lot of good emotional energy that might be happening in your life. Intense emotional energies here. For some of you Scorpios, what I'm seeing with all these cups, you actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups. And then you have this High Priestess, which is the moon, which is significant because water signs tend to be very intuitive. And so, yeah, this High Priestess is all about intuition. And the interesting thing is that she is associated with the moon, and Scorpios, you of all people, definitely have that moon energy. Okay, so this is, you have your major arcana, which are pretty intense as well, because you have Strength, holding on, especially with this Queen of Cups and this King of Cups. I mean, I've never seen such a strong sequence of cards that Strength is joining this Queen of Cups and King of Cups together emotionally. Strong feelings of love and companionship and commitment in the past. And then we have this Ace of Cups right in the beginning. I think there are some of you Scorpios who are falling in love. And the interesting thing is that you have this Four of Cups, which is reversed. And the Four of Cups traditionally just means, emotional distance. It's about coming out of an emotional funk and changing your life. And so sometimes when this is in reverse, it can mean a little bit of depression, just pulling back as well. And this is connected to this Ace of Cups. So for some of you Scorpios, yes, what I'm seeing here in this first row is this intense feeling of love and an emotional connection with you and another person. But then it feels like you're getting a little bit, maybe this relationship is not moving at the same pace that you would want to. You're so in love, you have these intense feelings, but at the same time, maybe the other person is not connected to you as strongly as you're connected to them. Nevertheless, with this Strength card, there is a strong connection. Also, with this Four of Cups on one side of the Ace, which is reversed, we now have this High Priestess, which is in reverse. And as I've said before in other readings, this is about connecting to your intuition, connecting to your gut instinct, to be open to the bigger picture and understanding things that might not be apparent at the time. And strangely enough, especially with all this moon energy, the high priestess is also about not letting emotions get out of control. It's about tempering what you feel with it's pulling back your emotions and being able to see the bigger picture. It's about learning and moving past obstacles. And so I see a little bit of an emotional blockage for you, Scorpio, that this emotional energy, this intense energy that you've been feeling, that's overwhelming. And Scorpios, more than any other sign, tend to love hard and play hard. And so the tarot is saying, well, okay, you've pulled back a lot. You're letting your feelings overwhelm your instincts and your clear thinking here. And just making sure that you're balanced and you're seeing things for what they are and understanding the bigger picture. So that's where I see you here in the present, that after this huge, strong emotional connection, some of you might even feel that your partner or your boyfriend or your husband, that this person is your soulmate, and you're hanging on as much as possible. It's so difficult to let go when you feel those strong emotions and when you fall hard and you feel like this is the only person in the universe for you. So all of this water is coming out, it's pouring out. And then you have this high priestess in reverse, meaning that you're almost overwhelmed and it's sort of drowning out your better instincts. And you need to sort of pull those emotions back, especially with this relationship or connection, so that you can see things for what they are. Because what's happening now in your future, you do have death in reverse. And death is always about change as well. It's about new beginnings, that once you go through this transformation, this complete closure and ending, you can now move on to bigger and better things. When this is in reverse, it means that maybe there's closure that needs to happen, things that you need to let go that can be difficult to do. But it still means that you're going through a very difficult change, that there are things that are going to be delayed. And that kind of makes sense because you have this Five of Wands, the card of conflict and other delays. This is also a card about things not happening as quickly, agendas that kind of get switched around or shut down. And that also requires acceptance. It also requires, when you get this Five of Wands, it also means that there's a conflict that you're maybe taking too seriously. And you need to get your priorities, like, well, what battles am I going to fight here? You have to pick and choose your battles carefully, okay? So don't get stuck in conflict. Try to find a way to move past those conflicts. When we get to the Six of Pentacles, we have some earth energy, some grounding and stability, which is always a wonderful thing to have, especially when we've had all of this emotion here in the past and the present. The Six of Pentacles is about give and take. It's about someone being generous. It's about getting gifts. But it's also about prosperity. It's also about, for instance, one example that's not necessarily about relationships, it's about you applying for a loan and getting that loan. So in this sense, when I look at these conflicts with death in reverse and the Five of Wands, I'm kind of seeing things sort of getting more stable, boundaries being established, two people participating in the relationship, giving and taking equally between each other. And it could also mean for some of you that the person that you're emotionally connected to starts spending time with you physically, because pentacles are not about emotions. They're always about the material world, the physical world. It can be someone spending more time with you, someone opening up to you, someone being willing to move forward in the relationship with you. Okay? So things will get a little bit more positive after these adjustments and changes that you're going through. And it seems like maybe a relationship that might have been a little bit unstable and confusing and frustrating, it gets a little bit more grounded. And you get a little bit more grounded as well. Okay? So sometimes when we fall in love or when we have an emotional connection, it's not always this dramatic shift that we're seeing in the movies and that we're used to. Sometimes we have to pull back our emotions. We have to adjust. We have to address conflicts. We have to be flexible here, and that's what I'm seeing here in the future. And so that could very well happen as you head throughout the next few weeks here, through April and even through May. So now I'm going to shuffle for the outcome card. And this was an 8 of Cups that tried to fall out here. That could be a sign of other things. All right, I have a 9 of Wands. I have a little bit of fire here. This is about moving forward with courage, not being fearful, to tackle conflicts head on and not being afraid. And I think that kind of resonates with this 5 of Wands here. And I think it also resonates with strength. Relationships are never smooth. All relationships face obstacles. All relationships face having to adjust, having to be grounded, having to look at things realistically, and not get completely swept off your feet. So this fire energy from the 9 of Wands is a good thing for you as your outcome card, because it is about these problems and conflicts that you're facing, especially with your emotions. This is about just going ahead and facing the conflict and not being afraid of getting hurt. But it's also about hanging in there. And it's about being strong. So I feel like this strength card that I saw here in the past is sort of following through, especially with the 5 of Wands. And it's almost as if the tarot is saying to you, yes, I know that you're in love and that you feel this strong emotional connection, but there's still things that you're going to have to be strong about, that you're going to need to pull back and just trust the situation and trust that everything will fall into place. And be willing to set your boundaries. Don't allow things that happened in the past to affect how you decide to move forward in the future. Okay? So yeah, there will still be ongoing obstacles here with distance and communication and the other person being a little bit out of sync emotionally with you. But the tarot is saying, learn to accept things that are happening in the relationship, pull back, which is the advice I'm seeing from the High Priest. And what else? I'm kind of feeling that this particular situation for some of you Scorpios is also taking courage, that sometimes water signs, some of you can be very passive. You're so caught up in your emotions, but at the same time, you can be overwhelmed, and you're afraid to step forward, and you're afraid to take your own direction in a relationship, establish your boundaries, establish what you want. So I'm seeing this Six of Pentacles coming to this Nine of Wands in the outcome, because more than anything, Scorpio, if you're attached to someone and their emotions are not on the same level as yours, and you're feeling out of sync with that person, as what I'm seeing here in the Four of Cups reversed, it could be that there's nothing wrong here, but you might need to adjust your emotions and pull back. Okay? And I also feel that for some of you with this Death in reverse, it's about letting go of the old. When Death is reversed, it means that we're having difficulty accepting changes. We're having difficulty dealing with delays and not getting what we want when we want, as quickly as we want. And so this Death card in reverse is saying there's still some things you need to let go. Maybe it's your way of thinking. Maybe it's you holding on to certain fears or holding on to the past, which is also indicated by this Four of Cups reverse. And it's sort of like, let go a little bit. Pull back your emotions and not be guided completely by your emotions, but get them under control and be able to see, to be able to trust yourself and be, and help yourself be safe and feel that, okay, whatever happens, I'm still going to be okay. I'm going to give this situation, this relationship, this connection a chance to sort itself out. And sometimes with Death in reverse, for some of you, it may mean letting go of a relationship for a little bit of time, and then just trusting that things will get back to even keel, as indicated with the Six of Pentacles. Things will finally start sinking and coming together. Okay, so that was your reading. And as always, I want to thank everybody for your donations and your contributions and all the wonderful, lovely comments that I get on YouTube. Thank you so much. And just as a little announcement, some of you have requested that I'm available by phone a little bit more, so I am going to be working on getting a toll-free number that you guys can call, and you don't have to make an appointment. I'll be available for a certain number of hours during the evening as the mornings, and you can call and just talk to me immediately instead of having to book an appointment 12 hours in advance, because usually for all my appointments now, I can't take phone requests in real time. I have to sort of set those appointments up, especially with my other readings, in advance. So I'm going to work on that, and hopefully some of you will be able to take advantage of those hours, especially for those of you who are my regulars. So thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying the spring season so far. Summer's on the way. And I wish you love and light as always. And I'll see you on YouTube. And I'll see you next month. So take care.